Good morning and welcome to the second day of AICT IST sponsored 1 week online refresher program on developing secure IoT applications. Uh, Due to some unavoidable circumstances, we had to reschedule our sessions. So today's first session will be conducted by Anita Chaudhary madam on topic recent trends in IoT, and on 17th December the first session will be taken by Dr. VC Kotak sir on topic utilization of autonomous robots through IoT during pandemic. Now I'm happy to welcome and introduce our today's speaker, Anita Chaudhary ma'am. She is Associate Professor at St. John College of Engineering and Management. She has overall 10 years of teaching experience and she is member of International Association of Engineers. She has completed ME in 2013 from University of Mumbai. She has published several research papers in national as well as international conferences and journals. Her areas of research are IoT, network security, and algorithms. I request you, ma'am, to please take over the session. Over to you, Anita, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is the screen is visible to all?
No, ma'am, your screen is not visible yet.
Just
Yes. Full screen.
yeah,
You have
thank
done slideshow also. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Good morning to one and all present in this STTP. So today we are starting with the topic like recent trends in IoT. So we will be observing first the basic things that will be in the IoT. So before going to in the depth study, we should clear with the terminology. So we'll first see what is meant by IoT. So generally we are talking like the IoT is Internet of Things, that's it. Okay. So but the Internet of Things, what the things you can connect with the what to say, any application you can connect, or what are the components that are involved into the IoT, that is much important. So the terminology comes into the market like the IoT. So why this terminology comes into the market? Basically in this terminology, the most of the applications developed are used for the consumer usage. For example, smart TV is the best example of IoT, or you can say the smart washing machine, smart refrigerator, autonomous car. So all are they are providing the services to the customer in the autonomous way, or in the automation, in the auto, you can handle these devices through the automatic way. It is called as IoT. Okay, so the whatever the products comes that falls into the category that provide services to the customers, that is called as IoT. The second terminology comes into the IoT only, and most of the people are doing the research in that also they are started. That is the IIoT. So just putting the one I, that's it. There is a differentiate between the IoT and IIoT as well, definitely. So the first I stands for the industrial, and the rest of these are Internet of Things. So IoT, do you know that the Internet of Things, and IIoT is the industrial Internet of Things. So why the industrial Internet of Things comes into the pictures, and what was the need of that? So basically in the manufacturing industries, in supply chains, the mechanical peoples are also mostly familiar with the automobile sectors, production sector. So these are the companies, organizations are started their productions in the autonomous, automatic, or by using the automations. Okay, so for example, pharmaceutical companies, they are starting the producing drugs and all these, the fillings, bottle fillings, the capsules and all this filling. So the manpower is required too much high, so that's why they are started the automations in their industries. Then the what you say, the productions has also started in the automation way. Then even the supply chain to tracking the food supply chain or any production supply chains, for that the most of the organization has started automations in their industry, and that's why this terms comes into the industrial IoT. Okay, then later on the next is Internet of Everything. So Internet of Everything is a new concept. No, it is little bit of the similar to the IoT. But what is the basic difference in that? Yes, definitely the things are connected to the internet. That is the basic fundamental concept behind IoT and IoE. But the thing is Internet of Everything. What does the everything meaning is specifying? Everything specifies that whenever you are designing any application, in that the intelligence should be there, connection of the people should be there, the processes should interact with each other, and the data should be stored for the future analysis, and the things should be operated. So each and everything, from the communications, from the connectivity, from the data to the data analytics, is involved into the IoE, and that's why it is called as Internet of Everything. So basically there is a no differentiation between of this technology, only the provide in terms of the providing the services, in terms of the attaching the components into the applications, that is much important, and these terms are varying. So if you are studying working into this domain, basically these all the domains are interrelated to each other. Then the next is Industry 4.0. So as soon as this terminology comes into the market, the next new evaluations comes into the industry is the Industry 4.0. And now everyone is talking about the Industry 4.0's requirement. So what is the requirement of the Industry 4.0? First is automation should be there, data should be exchanged with any device anywhere in the world, and they can be operated from remote location. That is the important thing, and that is the concept like behind the IoT is the basic terminology to fulfill the requirement of the Industry 4.0. Okay, so what is the technological definition? If we see technical definition, Industry 4.0 is the current trends of automation and data exchange in the manufacturing technologies. Definitely industries, when you are talking about the industry, it is about the automation manufacturing industries, and in the manufacturing, to do the manufacturing, the human involvement, if you want to less the means decrease the human involvement in such a operations like the manufacturing and productions operations, then we can handle with the help of the automations tools. Okay, and where the Industry 4.0 provides support for it. Then it includes the cyber physical system, as we are operating the devices, manufacturing devices from the remote location. Definitely the security plays a much important. So the cyber physical system is also the plays the most important role into the Industry 4.0, as well as the Internet of Things. As the devices you have to connect with the internet to operate from anywhere, IoT is the important. Cloud computing, now cloud computing also plays the important role into the Industry 4.0, as the most of the data you're outsourcing onto the third party, because you know the capability of the IoT devices, as the capability of the IoT devices have very less memory or the very less power processing power in that, or you can say that it is power supply based. Okay, if the power supply goes, the device will not be capable to perform any operations, and that's why most of the data we are not storing onto the IoT devices, we're outsourcing that data onto the cloud computing. So that's why if you see the Industry 4.0 evaluations, in that the automation plays the most important role, then the security of these devices is one of the research trends, then the Internet of Things is another research trend, and the cloud computing is another research trend. So combining all this technology, the Industry 4.0 started into the market. So how the evaluations of the Industry 4.0 started? So whenever the Industry 1.0 has started, that time it is just a mechanization and steam power based engine. So basically to produce the threads, we are using the spinning wheel. We are using the simple spinning wheel, and then you are just producing the thread. So that is the first example of the Industry 4.0. Then moving on to the Industry 2.0, from steam power to the electrical energy. As the electrical energy and electricity and everything is started in 1870, the automation in the industries, the manufacturing industries started using the assembly line for the productions. Okay, you can see here the these things, the assembly lines are used, and the industries are using the assembly line for the production purpose. Then the next evaluations comes into the picture, that is the industry 3.0. So the industry 3.0 is basically focus onto the partial automation. What is meant by partial automation? The partial automation in that the manufacturing devices are controlled through the computer, not remotely. The computer are attached to these machines, and you can fire the control or you can fire the commands, so that from the computer the commands will go to the devices, to the manufacturing devices, and the production has been monitored. And some types of partial automation has started into the industry 3.0. Then the complete automation is started into the industry 4.0, and this is the now we are in the industry 4.0 evaluations. Now, as we will say, we are seeing what is the IoT, what is IIoT, then IoE. These are the very basic terminology, but unless and until we will not clear it, we are not will not get the interest where to go. Otherwise, when you refer the research paper, or when you apply, what you say, the start the application development, that time will be confused whether I have to select IoE, IIoT, or IoT. Yes, definitely everything is same, but the application where you are deploying is a different scenario, is different. Okay, so based on that you can refer the terminology. Then we had seen the industry 4.0. Is the industry 4.0 actually cater the needs of the industry? Yes, definitely. The now the automation, everyone are using the smart devices and their home also, so that's why you should be aware about the industry 4.0 things. Now coming to the next slide, we will see what is Internet of Things and what are the components involved in it. Okay, first components you can see here the sensors. This is the noted. I took the one simple sample diagram. In that you can first see that this component, first component is a sensor. Sensor plays a much important role into the IoT. Now you people are thinking that the sensor, I can do the research on the sensors. Yes, you can do, but if you require the strong background knowledge of the electronics, okay, so that then only you can develop your own sensors. Okay, so the sensors, what is the component, what is the use of the sensor? There are the many more sensors are available into the market based on your application. If you want to go for the smart farming, the moisture level detection sensors are available. If you want to go develop for the smart cameras, the motion sensors are available. If you want to develop the smart dustbin, you require the ultrasonic sensors. Ultrasonic sensors are available. If you are thinking that the smoke detector should be installed, then the gas sensor is available. And these all the sensors are available hardly 50 or 100 rupees of price. So these sensors only senses the physical parameters in the environment. Okay, whatever the parameters are there in the environment, that is sensed by the sensor. They only sense, they have the capacity of the sense. No processing power is associated with the sensors. They only sense the environment. After sensing, what is the next step? After sensing, what is the next step? They should have to process their data to the next step. Yes, so what they will do to sense the data, after sensing the data, sensor has to send the data to the receiver, to the devices. So for that, your sensor should be connected to the devices that has the processing capability. Then only the sensor can send the data. Okay, so there should be a pin diagram and all these, so the sensor pins will be connected to this gateway. So now, you can say the sensor. So basically in the market, sensors are coming with the three pins, the positive, negative, and the sending the data. Okay, so these are the three pins as a much important. If you see the wrapper, most of the sensors are coming with the three pins, where one is positive, one is negative, and another one is used to send the data to the gateway. Okay, so that data is what? That data is nothing but the sender senses the sensor sends the data to the what you say, the gateway can be your Raspberry Pi, gateway can be your what you say, the Arduino, gateway can be a Node MCU, gateway can be an Intel board. So gateway can be any device that has the processing capability and that can take the data from the sensor. So if you say sensor sends the data and sends the data to the gateway by using some connections between them. Okay, now After getting the data to the gateway sides, what is the next? So now in the diagram I had shown only the one sensor, but gateway can be connected to the multiple sensor. It is not like the only one sensor you can connect to the any gateway. There is a chances of the multiple sensors can be connected to the gateway based on your application. After taking the data from the sensor, the next thing is that you don't have the much memory onto the gateway side, and this data should be outsourced to the cloud or the user's device. So for that you require the network. Now when you're using the network, based on your application, you can decide whether you want to go for the Bluetooth, whether you want to go for the Zigbee, or whether you want to go for the Wi-Fi based network, or whether you want to go for the 4G, 3G or 5G. Okay, so it's totally your application choice ki which type of networks you want to select for sending the data. Now, if you want to send the data to the cloud, definitely you require the internet, that is your 3G or 4G. Okay, so now this is the next component, the cloud. On the cloud, you can store the data that is forwarded by the gateway. And after getting the data at the cloud side, definitely if the large amount of data is required gather out to the cloud side, what is the important data analytics is much important. Otherwise what will happen, the data, so much data will be there, and where I kept that data and what is the important of that data will never be justified. And that's why after storing the data, the person is interested into the only the analytics, that is the what is the information I'm getting from that data. So these all are the components of the Internet of Things. So whenever you are selecting the IoT research area for the IoT, first thing, decide you want to work at the sensor side, you want to work at the integrate at the gateway side, or you want to work at the cloud side, or you want to go for the analytics side. So these are the different areas where you can do your research, or you can start your doing the research in such an area. Now if you are thinking that but the students are implementing these projects in the college, so what type of research? Definitely they are implementing, but they are using the inbuilt applications that are available, and you can directly download that application and connect with your Raspberry Pi. It is very easy. Okay, so that is not the research, something new you are creating, that is required. Okay, so that's why designing the application by taking everything from the internet, it is easy, but contributing your own things in that, that is important. So the next if you see here, the IoT is the first part, from the network, from the gateway, and from the sensor. All these belongs to the embedded device, but obviously somewhere you require the electronics knowledge, as well as somewhere require the wireless communication knowledge, the and security knowledge. That person can do the research in these three areas. Whereas as a computer engineer, the information technology engineer, I have very good knowledge in programming and a cloud, so I will do the research into the cloud side, or I will do the research into the machine learning or deep learning for the analytics purpose. So this is all about the Internet of Things. So now if you see the diagram here, just I included this diagram. Everyone thinking that what is IoT, there is a different definitions for the IoT. Okay, yes, there is a different, there is a no common definitions available for the IoT. For example, if you see based on our perspective, we can see the different things. If you see this dog, you can see this person saying it is tree, because he's feeling that this is the shape is given for the tree. If you see this person is saying that it is wall, that elephant ka body, it is called as wall. This person is saying the tail of the elephant, it is rope, because he learned that is the rope. Okay, whereas this person saying that it is fear. Okay, then this person is saying that it is snake. Okay, so if you see, they are describe the elephant's different parts, body parts into the different terminology. Okay, so that the same fundamental concept is applied to the IoT. Everyone has their own thinking for deciding the IoT definition. If you are going for the farming applications, smart farming, you will be having the different components. If you are going for the smart grid, you will be having the different components, or if you're going for the home automation, you will be handling different components. So for each and every one, there will be different definitions for the IoT. But what is important, it is everything from sensing, storage, computation, analysis to application programming. So which sensor you are using, that is not at all decided. Which storage media you are using, that is also up to the users and up to the application. If my application requires a small amount of, if my application requires the small amount of memory, why I will should go to the cloud? No, I will not go to the cloud. I will store into the server. So, and computation, next thing is computation. So what type of computations you can perform onto the data, that is up to you. What type of analysis you want to derive from the data, that is also the up to the application development team. And application programming, when you want to develop the application using Android, or using the PHP MySQL, or using the JavaScript. So that is up to the users based on their application. So there is a no common definition available. Now, these all things we had seen, like the IoT, then the components, and what is the definitions in that. Okay, now we'll see the one simple case study. I will focusing on the home automation only for this presentations. Okay, so home automation using different types of boards. So if you see, this is the first things that where I kept one this one what you say, the motion sensor, PIR sensor. It is called as PIR sensor, and this is the buzzer. Okay, hardly it is getting for the 100 rupees. Okay, so I am connecting. It has the three pins. Which are the three pins? Positive, negative, and the data. Data, what is that? If some motion is sensed, then it will send the signal to the this Pi, Raspberry Pi. Okay, this is the device, that is the Raspberry Pi. And Raspberry Pi sends the signal. Once it receives the signal on this pin, so if you see here, this is the pin structures of the Raspberry Pi. Maybe you will learn into the next session hands on. Okay, so pin structures of the Raspberry Pi, and you can connect the multiple devices through this pin. So as soon as the motion is detected, the high signal will be sent to this pin, and from this pin the signal will send to the buzzer key. Okay, some motion is detected, buzzer should start. For example, if the baby is sleeping and a baby monitoring device is there, and if baby is crying, that time the motion will be detected from the from that, and the sensor will be beeped. So if the mother is working in the hall or in kitchen, she comes to know baby has get up and she has to go there. So these are the small applications you can develop using these sensors. Then so this is the one board you can use for the Raspberry Pi. Only the thing is that decide your application कि आपको Raspberry Pi ही चाहिए क्या. Raspberry Pi hardly costing around 3,500, and it has a capability that कि आप Pi 2 में जाते हो, Pi 3 में जाते हो, and the next version is also available into the market. Raspberry Pi 3 का feature है कि like the inbuilt Wi-Fi उसमें available है. Okay, whereas in Raspberry Pi 2 inbuilt Wi-Fi was not there in that. Okay, even the camera, this camera slot is also not there. So now this is the with enhancement they are developing the this Raspberry Pi kit. But only thing is that if you are not going to give the proper power supply to the Raspberry Pi, आपका power Raspberry Pi 2 दिन में चला जाएगा. Okay, so the 5 volt power supply is required for this, and that should be maintained. Otherwise अगर heating हो जाता है तो आपका Raspberry Pi कुछ काम का नहीं. This is the drawbacks of the devices, some device. Now the next thing is that I same way I connected PIR sensor with the Arduino. Okay, so Arduino also, if you see here, the Arduino has the cables. Arduino has the pin structures. Okay, so your device, these three pins, one will be positive to positive, negative to negative, and this one is the data pins to the any one pins that is taking the data from the sensors onto the Arduino. Okay, now if you want to connect the Raspberry Pi, it has a Raspbian OS. You can connect directly to the Raspbian OS. Okay, it is like small computer, but when you want to connect to the Arduino board is not operating onto the what is the operating system. It has a own IDE. Okay, Arduino has a IDE one IDE. In that you can connect and observe the parameters. It is also based on the C++ programming language, whereas your Raspberry Pi works onto the Python, PHP, MySQL, and C++ also. Okay, now the Arduino is costing around the 500. Whereas now the next replacement for the Arduino, you can use the Node MCU also. Now, what is the drawbacks of this Arduino? Arduino has no inbuilt GSM module, no inbuilt Wi-Fi module. If you want to give the functionality to Arduino, then you can use the another module. You can say the Wi-Fi module, GSM module, you can connect with the Arduino. Okay, then this Node MCU is hardly 250 rupees, 200 rupees. Okay, Node MCU also has the capability to connect with the Arduino IDE. Okay, Arduino IDE के साथ you can connect the Node MCU. In that also you can connect the devices and you can operate the devices through the remotely. यहाँ पे the best example or best features of the Node MCU is like the it gives the wireless connectivity features, Wi-Fi features, whereas that feature is not available with the Arduino Uno or Arduino. Okay, Arduino board. So based on your application, you will decide your budget. You will decide if you want to decide special applications for the students, which one you should guide based on the students' requirement, based on their budgeting. So decide key whether you want to go for the Raspberry Pi, for the Arduino, or for the Node MCU. And the sensors will definitely get changed because based on your application, you have to decide the sensor. Now I took the PIR sensor, motion sensor, because I want to design something that is the something detected, some action should be triggered. Okay. If you want to design the farming, smart farming, you will use the moisture level soil sensor. Okay, soil moisture sensors. Okay, if you want to go to the smart dustbin, you can use the ultrasonic sensor. So based on your preference, your applications, you can select any sensors. Okay, and these are the jumper wires. You can connect your sensor with the boards. Okay. Now the next is real scenario. Okay, where the actually the devices can be connected. Okay. So if you see the simple setup from the laptop, this is the LCD prompt and this is the Arduino where I am controlling the three lights. Okay, so light has required the more power and that power may be not given by the Arduino thing, and that's why require the relay. Okay, from the relay you can control these devices. Fan also you can control. You can control the automatic curtains also you can control through the Arduino at your home. You can design the application. First thing they see, the most thing important thing is that if you are the interest into the IoT, you should have to handle all these devices. And once you will handle these devices on your own with the sensors, with the different application, you will get your confidence for developing the application. And hardly in the 2-3 days, you will be able to design your own application. Okay, so this is the simple applications where the home automations takes place through on and off of the lights through the laptop. Then the next thing is that the help of Raspberry Pi. So this Raspberry Pi code is connected to the one monitor. You can use the monitor as your LCD TV also. You can use the monitor, nuclear or desktop based monitor. Okay, so these are the so you can make the monitor or you can purchase the monitor 2300 or something if you don't have the monitor available at your home, because the processor is Raspberry Pi. So it has the 3 slots. One is for keyboard, one is for the mouse, and one is for the connecting to the LCD or monitor. Okay, so you're connecting these pins and these are the relays. I already told you that to give the power supplies to the light, you require the relays. Okay, relays can be come into the 4 switch, 1 switch or 8 switch. Okay, so this is the simple things designed using the Raspberry Pi home automation system. Now just see here one video. Just is it audible? Tell me, sir. It was audible, sir. Video was audible to everyone. Hello. 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 Chetan, sir, are you there?
Yes, yes, ma'am, it is audible.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. Okay, so in the video, you are seeing that okay, the sensor, they are use the camera, they are use the motion sensors and the detecting. So if you see that the simple device that you have to install in each room, okay, so you can monitor the activity of each room from anywhere. From anywhere, if you're working in office, you can monitor from the office, or anywhere in the world, you can monitor your home setup. Okay, so for that they use the camera and they use the motion sensors. Okay, so the basic thing is that the security plays an important role. So if you see the video carefully, they are using the barcode schemes okay, QR scanner code scheme. Okay, then the next thing is that the what is the application that they are downloading from the Play Store, that was the developed by the manufacturer company. Those are given these devices. If you see, they are downloaded it from the Play Store and use started using by authenticating on that site. So those are the manufacturing of that devices. Those that manufacturers have your all the details. Okay, so that is the important thing, that whenever the any patches will come, that will be coming through your applications, and application up you are connecting with the manufacturers from where you are purchased the smart cameras. Okay, so this is the simple examples where the sensors can be combined with the cameras and the small applications, or you can say the small products is developed. Okay, now we'll see the somewhere the okay, the Cisco packet tracer screen is visible to all. Hello. Hello.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. It's visible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, so here we will see the two simple scenario where you can do the home automation. As I focus in my previous slides based on the home automation, it's not compulsory that you will do the home automation, but I took the one case study, so we will go for the home automation only. So if you see here, there are the different components that is provided by the Cisco. So if you see, select here that device end devices. Here you can see the home automations. So if you see want to select AC, smart AC, you can select smart garage door. Then you can see the motion sensor, you can see the solar panel, you can see the webcam, smart webcam, you can see the smart window that has the IP address and can be controlled from anywhere. You can see the smart light. Okay, you can select the smart home speaker, you can select the fan, smart fan. So these are the different devices that you can select into the home automation. Okay, this is the arrow that through that you can delete the devices. Okay, then There are the different case studies also, like in smart city. If you want to go develop the Cisco smart city using the Cisco packet tracer, then the smart beacons frame, smart power meter, smart street light for the smart city, wind detector for the smart city, then the smart LED. Okay, then the RFID card you can use, then the smart fan you can use into the industry, batteries, solar power, air pressure monitor sensors. So the even the car you can do the VANET network using the old car and operate that car using the using the IoT based devices. So these are the different devices that comes into the smart city. Okay, so if you want to design any application related to the smart city, these are the components available into the Cisco Packet Tracer. If you want to go for the smart factory or smart industry, the smart air conditioner, smart fire monitoring system, smart solar panels are there, temperatures monitors are there. I have the one company and cold storage company and I want this temperatures in that cold storage. So you can use this type of temperature monitor systems. Then you can use the trip sensor. Then you can use the smart LED here. Here also RFID are there, power meter you can use. Okay, so these are the different devices through that PUMS you can use. So based on your application, sprinkler you can use, sprinkler, fire sprinkler you can use. So based on your design you can select any one of the components and operate on it. Okay, later on you can perform experimentation on it. So I will explain the simple scenario of the home automations where I can take one light and I will take the one door. Okay, now first initially I will do the connection with the wired approach and then we'll go for the wireless approach into the home automation. Okay, so I will take here the one computer, what is a PC, then here are the devices, different devices. I can take one server here. Okay, and I will take one switch for connecting these things. Okay, so I took the one switch where I will connect these devices. This is the wired connection, so I can connect this one with this. Okay, then I will connect the next thing with the door. Then I will connect this switch with the computer, this computer. Okay, then I will connect server with this switch. Okay, so now I just do the logical physical connections with them. Okay, by using the wiring structures. Now what I will do, I will go into this and I will configure it. Now if you see here, you have to go here, this server you have to make the IoT server. Okay, so go on services and on this server. So I just started IoT server on. Okay, then go on to the config. Okay, then we'll go here. I will go into the advanced and config. I can say the remote server here, but I had not given remote server some parameter. So I will first give the remote server parameters. Static IP address 1.1.1. Okay, so this is the IP address of my server I had given. So I want to make this server as a remote server and I will first create the account on this server. So I will go into the desktop. I will go into the IoT monitor and this is the this is not my default server. My server name is 1.1.1 and login. Now I am not just login, so I will just start login admin. Okay, create. I created. Now I will go into this LAMP. So I will make this server remote server as 1.1.1 is my remote server. Through that, my this LAMP should be monitored. Okay, so what username has given, that the same username and password I have to give here. Okay, so I will say connect. Okay, so if it is connecting, okay, if it is connecting, you can see here. Just wait. Reflected. Okay, just check. Let me check. Time. Okay, sorry, I did the wrong connection. So just give me 1 second time. We'll just remove this network and prepare the another network. Cello state, I will show you wireless only now. Just give me time. Sorry. Okay. We'll go now the wireless thing. I will prepare the one home gateway here. We'll take this these things in the smartphone. We will keep this. Then we'll take the smart AC and we will take here the drawer, lock one smart door. Okay, then we'll take the another room here. Then in that also we'll put the smart AC. We'll put the one smart fan and we will put the one light. Okay, then we'll do the wireless connections with the help of home gateway. That is the wireless gateway will select, that is the home gateway, this home gateway will select, and we will take the smartphone, that is the through the mobile device you can connect. So now we will first do the setting of the smart gateway. We'll just increase the font. We have to go here, then config, and then LAN. Okay, if you say this is the IP address of this home gateway. Okay, and then here the name of this home gateway is home gateway deploy. We have to see the password for this. Okay, so a password should be like the WPA or PF algorithm is used. So here you have to use 8-bit key. Okay, so now I set up the key for my home gateway, and now I want to connect this AC. So I want to that home gateway. So I will go into the advanced mode. I will go into the advanced mode. Then IO config. I want to connect to the wireless devices. So I will connect to the wireless. Then I will go into the config. Then into the wireless setting. As you see here, default is a home gateway because it's spreading the range into the wireless system. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is my password for going the connection. So if you see later on, it will be connected. If you see, it is connected to the home gateway. AC is connected to the home gateway. Now I want to connect the light same way. I will go into the advanced. Then in advance, I will say the IO config. I have to connect with the wirelessly. So this is the options through that you can connect with the wirelessly to the gateway. You will connect. Then you have to go into the config. You have to configure the router. So these home routers I have configured here, and my key is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 7, 8. So this is my key for the home gateway. So if you see now, lights will be connected to the home gateway. Okay, it takes some time for the connections. Then you want to control the door through the Wi-Fi. Home gateway is nothing but your Wi-Fi router. Okay, so go in advanced, go into the IoT configuration, go into the wireless system, select the same parameters for the all the devices. Okay, so here also I am selecting the home gateway, and I can write here the password 34567 8. Okay, so like that you can connect the multiple devices with the this. Now I will just connect fan. The remaining you people can now learn. You can connect the same way other devices you have to do. Okay, so in you have connected your fan. Now you want to connect your AC with this. So again you have to go into the advanced. You have to go into the physical IO config. Then you have to select the wireless. Then you have to select go into the config. Then select the wireless. By default it is a home gateway. Okay, I have to first enter key. It should be 8-bit, otherwise it forms the error. Okay, now I want to control this door also. So I will go into the configurations. Then I will select the wireless router that it should be connected to the wirelessly configure. Then I will select this one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you see this way, all the devices are connected to the gateway. Now I want to connect my smartphone. So what I will do, I will go into the smartphone. I will go into the configuration, and I will go here into the wireless because I am working with the wireless router. अगर आप आपका मोबाइल से होम ऑटोमेशन रिमोटली ऑपरेट करना चाहते हैं तो आपको 3G या 4G टावर लगेगा. Okay, you can select this also. If you want to control through the Bluetooth, you can select Bluetooth. But now I want to connect to the wireless, so I will select the wireless. So I want to copy this home gateway ka name. So this is my home gateway, and I will put my home gateway there. Okay, so configuration and smartphone wireless, you can put your this home gateway and write the same key that we are set up for the home gateway. Okay, so now if you see the smartphone, just wait for smartphone is connected with the this one, what you say, the mobile phones. Okay, so, home gateway. Is the circuit is visible to all, sir? Diagram is visible to all? Hello?
Yes, madam. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, okay, sir, thank you. Now you are connected each and everything to each home gateway devices. Now what I will do here, now we will operate it with the help of smartphone. For that you have to log in. You have to copy the IP address of this because we are connected all the devices to the home gateway. So this IP address is the important one. Okay, so you have to go in desktop, you have to go in this, you have to write down the IP address. Now by default IP address for this is admin. Okay, now it shows that no single devices are connected. So what I will do, I will connect here the wireless device, and I will go into the setting, and I will see here the home gateway. Okay, I will select here the home gateway. So if you see here the home gateway, it is taking the time to connect. Okay, so it takes the time to come. If you see here, the light is connected. Okay, light is connected to this device, this router. Now I want to connect air conditioning, so I have to just go and select the home gateway. So if you see, after some time, this one will also come. Just wait. It takes the time for connection. So I connected IoT, now air. Okay. Okay, so AC also has connected to the this. So I will configure like this all the devices. Door I will connect with the home gateway. Then I will connect the second room ka my room 2 ka AC with the this gateway. Then I will connect the fan with the home gateway. So my all devices now connected to the home gateway by using the default server. Okay, now if you want to see, if you see here, I will close it. I will open the smartphone. I can use a web browser. This is the browser where I am using the IP address of the server, home gateway server, because this is a router, my router IP address. And you have to just do the login here. And okay, after login, you can see my all devices are connected here. My all devices are connected. Okay, so if you want to give the name to these devices, you can give. अगर मुझे यहाँ पे name देना है तो it is by default IoT 31. So I can say the light. Okay, so it will be reflected in this. Okay, if you see here the light is reflected. Okay, then I can give the name to this. Then I can say the SE1. SE1. Then I can say this is the SE2. SE2. Okay, then I can say this is the fan. Instead of IoT 36, I can say this is fan. Okay, then I will say door 1. D1, I can say in the simple terms. I can say this is the door 2, that is the D2. Okay, so we are given the names to all. Okay, so if you see here, you can see here now, if you want to operate it, see here, if light is there in the room 1, so if I click here dim, you can see the status of light. If I click, sir, two screens are visible, one that I am operating from the smartphone and one I am controlling the light.
Yes, madam.
Yeah,
Two screens
okay.
are visible.
Yeah, thank you. So if I on, it starts on. If I dim, then it's dim. If I start off, then it is the off. Okay, AC also you can monitor here. AC, you can see just on off. You can see this red color is coming when we are starting. When I am putting off, it off. Now you can see the door. If you say the lock, it is locked. If you say that it is unlock, then it will be unlock. Okay, so this you can monitor through the smartphone. Now if I don't want to press anything, I want to control automatic way. If my this door 2 or if my this door 2 will be open, that time automatically AC should start. Okay, for that you have to go in condition. You have to add the condition. You can give the one rule number 1 or any. Then all select what you want to start. If my door 1, what is it, door 2. Okay, door 2. Why is not showing door 2? Okay. Okay, I can say the door 1. My door 1 is open. Door 1 is open. Is true. Then my AC1 should on. Okay, this is true. Okay, and I can say that if the second rule, if my door 1 is locked, then my what do you say, the light should status should be on. Now just I'm setting off. Okay. And the second rule I'm setting that if all, third rule, if door 1 is open, then sorry, door 1 is open, they true, then my light should on, and say light should, status should on. Okay, so whatever the rule you will write, that will be fired here. Now what is the first condition? This my door 1 is open, then my AC should be on. Okay, now we will see here the door is open. If you see here, observe door, the AC is on and this light is on. Okay, if I close the door and lock it, then my light is off. But मैंने AC का लिखा है क्या? I am not written the AC का rule. I am not written कि if the door 1 is closed, then lock, then AC should be off. ऐसे नहीं लिखा. Which rule I written? If door 1 is locked, then light status should be off. Now I want to write the rule, that third rule, if my door 1 is locked, then my AC1 should unlock. Okay, that condition is not given into this. Okay, no problem. If the condition is not given, second thing also I will tell you what is the another thing through that you can control. Okay. Okay, so this is the rules we have written in that. If I want to state that D2, why D2 is not added, I will just see the rules that D2 should be added. For rule all, then okay. We'll see here the rules we are adding, that is based on our rule, it is performing the functionality. Okay. So if you see here, my door 2, now it is visible because I am not set the link for this. Okay, so I will write a condition for is key add if the fifth point is fifth rule is all, my door 2 is open, then it is true, then fan should, status should on, high. Okay, okay. So if you see here, now my door, I can say this is my door is opening. So if you see, fan's condition is changed. Okay, now I lock the door, but still the fan is on. Why it is on? Because I am not written the same rule in that key. If my door 2 is locked, then fan should be off. So I will write here the rule that all, if my door 2 is lock is unlock, open, and true, door 2 is open, lock is unlock, lock. Okay, then my fan should be, status should be off. Okay, so now again I have to fire the condition that my open door should be open, then fan should be off. Okay, and when I close the door, if you see, now the fan is off because I written the rule for that. So like that you can write the rules automatically you want to do, or through the phone you want to on off, or through the by condition you want to on off, you can do. Now you are thinking ki this is just a drag and drop. There are the rules where you can see the node MC are there, SPC ports are there, ThingSpeaks are there. Through that you can connect with the cloud as well as you connect the any devices with this. For example, I can show you the simple things how you can connect it. Okay, so this one. Okay, now if you want to connect your this PC, this board with this one, it will ask. It is showing little bit slow connection. Just wait. Okay, so wait. Okay, if you want to connect with the MCU board, you can. Just it's showing the slow attaching. Okay, no problem. I will show you the programming interface here. Just let me close and start again. Okay, so if you're saying taking the board here, the different types of boards are also available for the programming. Okay, so if you select this board, there are the terminology where you can do the programming also. So if you see here, there are the programming languages supported here, the Python programming language. Okay, you can write a Python, you can write a JavaScript, or you can write a PHP MySQL. Okay, so these are the things here. The Python interpreters are there. Through that you can send the signal to the pins like we are doing the coding with the Arduino and the Raspberry Pi. So you can start the coding like the GPIO pins and all this. I am not starting here because the remaining topics are to cover. Okay, but it is very easy. At the same way we are writing the programming for the Raspberry Pi and Arduino, we can do the same type of programming here, and based on the pin input you can take the actions. Okay, so this is all about the packet tracers, Cisco packet tracer. Now we will go for the next things that. Okay, so here we will see the which are the different security issues into the IoT. So basically in the last slides we are seeing the components, different components. Okay, where the what do you say, the where the research is required, which are the different components into the IoT. So now as the secure as the this program, this STTP is totally focusing on to the security, we will see the what are the security trends into the IoT. So first thing is that the see here that these three components, cloud security management. So cloud is one of the important thing as we are sharing the data with the third party provider. So as you know, that is the encrypted, but is the strong encryption mechanism is handled at the cloud provider side. Is they are not selling the data to anyone, whether you are sharing your private key with the cloud provider. If you are not sharing your private key, is there any chances that your data can be recoverable? So these are the important terminology when you are designing the security or you are deploying the data onto the cloud. This you should see. Then the network security, that is the overall network security from the device to the from the sensors up to the cloud, that is called as the network security. That is means when you are sending the data from gateway to the cloud, it will go through the internet, and you know the internet is the vulnerable to all over the world. Okay, so anyone can snip or spoof your packets and do the analysis. So that type of which basic the best algorithm will select, that is much important. Then endpoint security. Endpoint security means your device, your car, your sensors, who can access this sensor, and which person or which candidate in the organization has which type of levels for accessing these devices, privileges. Okay, so that is also the important key which type of security mechanism, authentication mechanism you are deploying into your IoT devices. For example, smart car. If you are driving the car and if someone has gained the access on that, authenticated access to that car, it will be definitely the dangers for the persons those are traveling by that car. Okay, then the next is the data security and privacy protection. So whatever the data generated by the devices that will be stored into the cloud or in the gateway. So that data privacy plays the important role. Okay, if you want data, you have to download that data in encrypted mode and decrypt your site. But if you want to perform the computation onto cloud site, it's not feasible to download all the data. You have to perform the computations on it on the encrypted data. Then if the threat is detected, which is the processes you are deploying into a network for detecting the threats, how you are monitoring the threats, how you can recovering your network, and for that the best organization, the industries are using the SIM tools for monitoring the threat detections and for getting the risk analysis for their organization. Then if you are deploying any application into the healthcare, you should follow the HIPAA compliances. If you are implementing the any applications, IoT based applications for the payment system, payment card system like PCI. PCI is also the one compliances. If you are proposing like the your for this, when you pay the bills through the credit card, through the debit card, you are swiping your cards onto the machine, or somewhere now you are just showing the card, the Wi-Fi chip is there onto your card. That time these devices should be a PCI compliance devices. So these all are the important terminology when you're deploying the application into the industry or into a research. All these are the important topics you should remember. Then which are the different security aspects into the IoT in terms of four angle. First, authentication. Each and every devices into the network should be authenticated, should, like sensor, gateway, cloud, all the things should be authenticated. Then the data storage, you are storing the data onto the third party or into the web server or into the any server. Then the data should be protected. So here the encryption algorithm plays the important role. When you communicate from, like when you send the data from gateway to the cloud, okay, your data is in transit phase. Transit phase means it is traveling through the Wi-Fi or wireless signal or through the wired signal. Okay, that time how you can protect the data using the encryption, that plays a really important role. Then uh, protect the data in process. Sometimes if some unauthenticated person takes the access of my devices, how you can execute the backend processing? Is there any authentication or is there any security mechanism provided ki if this password is required for the code execution, then only the code will be executed or the actions will be taken. So this is plays the much important role. Now the real life challenges or the case studies that are given by the industries. The first case study is also from the industries only, GPS trackers. So most organizations has developed the GPS trackers for the children's, pets and elderly people with easy to guess default password. Okay, means the password is embedded with this device, that is a default password, and hackers definitely hijack this type of devices and track the users. Okay, and how this devices default password will be available, that we'll see in the next slides. On this website the most of the devices default password is available. Okay, and neglecting these features that the default password is already available, this will be a really a problem for the old age peoples, elderly peoples or the children's. Okay, pets you can say okay, this is not important, but the children's and elderly peoples are much important to us. So if the password gets hijacked and attackers attacks, they will get all the information about the children and the elderly peoples. Then the patches updation is the second problem facing into the industry. As you know that you are installing the Android applications onto your mobile phones. So whenever you are installing the Android application onto your mobile phone, the new patches is already always coming. So you have to update your automatically updating your this Android applications, or you have to go into the Play Store and you have to say the update. Then it starts functioning properly. In the same way, when you are purchasing the hardware devices, you are purchasing the IoT devices from any organization like smart camera appliances or anything, that time you are installing onto your home. But जो भी उसका मैन्युफैक्चर है, अगर उसमें कुछ नया फीचर्स आता है तो इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल कि ऑलवेज न्यू फीचर्स कमिंग आएगा तो आप जाके वहां से वो डिवाइस परचेस करेंगे. नो, नॉट एट ऑल पॉसिबल. सो फॉर दैट द manufacturing industries are sending the patches to the hardware devices through the internet. So these patches, if someone hacks these patches and enter the wrong code onto your devices, it gives the invitations for the attack, or it gives the invitations that anything can be happens with your home security, with your child, or with autonomous car also, or any applications that is belonging to the IoT. Okay, so the patch management, patch updation is the most important role that industries are facing in terms of the IoT. Then the secret life of your smart security camera, the smart home surveillance camera you have seen into the last video. If you're connecting it to your home network means your Wi-Fi network you are connecting. Okay, and from the Wi-Fi network it will be visible to all over the world because your Wi-Fi router is connected to the internet. Okay, and in which case the model type, आपका कैमरा का टाइप कौन सा है, उसका आईपी एड्रेस क्या है, उसका क्या क्या इंफॉर्मेशन है, all this information will be available onto the internet, and this type of information is available into the Shodan.io, Census.io, and Zoomeye.org. So these are the organization, these are the websites, they have all the details of the IoT devices with the IP address, with the model type, and with the other informations provided. And if you want to check which vulnerability is associated with which devices, that is also available into the metasploit.com and exploit_db.com. So even though default password is also available, so someone can try this default password and hack your camera, can hack the GPS tracker system of the elderly people and the children's. Okay. Then the next is the issues faced by the industries. Okay, so first is the mix of technologies, protocols, and vendors. So if you see here in the IoT, the sensor you are purchasing that will be from the different vendors. You are using the gateway Raspberry Pi, Arduino, that is from the different vendors. Or you can say you are using the network connection 4G, 3G, 2G. It is from the different vendors. You are using the cloud is also from the different vendors. So if you see, there are the multiple vendors for the IoT to prepare the IoT application, and how to make the commonalization between these vendors, that is much important, and that is the still challenge faced by the organization or the industries. For example, domestic air quality monitor, that might have multiple sensors that will belongs to the different vendor. Processor for processing the data, different vendors. Wireless modem will be from the different companies. So different suppliers are providing the different components, and each one with their own features. Okay, so compatibility between this is the biggest challenge. Then the next is end-to-end security. So end-to-end security is the connections where you are providing the security from sensors to the server. That is called as end-to-end security. So first is authentication, then encryptions of the data in the transit, and then storing the encrypted data onto the server, processing the encrypted data onto the server, and returning the result into the encrypted manner to the user. That is much important into the end-to-end security factors. So here there are some authentication mechanism I have written down. The asymmetric key is basically used for validating the public key and private key, and then doing the authentications between the client and server based on the challenge response mechanism. Whereas some few protocols are also used for the authentication, and most of the people has did the research, or the research papers are available how you can do the authentication between the IoT device and gateway, or IoT device into the or user. Okay, so IPsec, TLS, SSL, transport layer security protocols, secure socket layer transport protocol, DTLS protocol, data transport layer security protocol. So all these protocols is also used for authentication. Second, the upcoming trends into the authentication is physical unclonable function. The now in IoT, This is the most upcoming research area, physical unclonable function used for the authentication, where the authentication parameters will never be compromised. Okay, because it is associated for each and every user unique authentication key after 5 seconds. Then digital certificate also you can use for the authentication mechanism. Then the best model for the IoT is IBAC. Now this is also the trends into the IoT, that the IoT feels like the sensor sense and sends the data. That only the capability of the IoT. But to make the IoT properly deployable, what are the other terminology? Blockchain, where the blockchain remembers the whatever the connection, whatever the data transmitted between the devices. AI thinks, okay, this data I have, what is the outcome of this data? What should be predicted from this data? That is the AI terminology. The cyber security secure all the things into the IoT networks, from sensors to gateway to the cloud, all this. Okay. Even though machine learning pattern also can be secured by the cyber security. Nowadays, everyone has started doing the machine learning, deep learning onto the plain text. But now, upcoming research as per the MIT, they are doing the deep learning and machine learning on encrypted data. And most of the libraries, like even in Python, these libraries are available. In that, you can apply the machine learning algorithms to the on encrypted data. So I will just this is the trends into the security analysis. If you see what are the trends, or you can say the terms of connectivity, security and analysis, rural areas. First is network connection. Second thing is firmware updation that we have seen. The updation is the major problem into the industry into for patching management, patch updation. Then attacks. Then the industries are lacking. They are not getting the proper persons with the proper knowledge of the IoT as well as the data scientist. Then the security. Then now coming this all about the basic terminology of IoT. Now data aggregation is a bit, now if you're going into the sensor level, so these are the different sensors. Sensors are sending the data, and if you see here the three sensors are sending the data and three packets are going to the sink. But if you see, they have the very less power. So the aggregation is the one of the current research where all the packets will be aggregated. In simple terms, I'm telling you that ki farm him. I have one farm. Okay, 1 acre. In that, I'm applying the moisture sensors. मॉइस्चर सेंसर आई एम पुटिंग. ओके, तो मॉइस्चर सेंसर्स का हर एक जगह का मॉइस्चर लेवल वो मुझे सेंस करेगा सेंसर. दैट टाइम अगर 100, इफ आई डिप्लॉय द 100 सेंसर्स ऑन टू माई फार्म, so 100 sensors data will come to my aggregator. The aggregator के बाद वो sync के पास जाएगा, but sync has a limited capacity. So what aggregator will do? Aggregator will calculate the average value. What is the average moisture level of this farm? And based on that, the crop ka decision will be taken कि which crop is best for this type of soil. Okay, so instead of sending 100 sensing data, I can send only one value, average value, a minimum, average or maximum. You can decide based on your application. So this is one of the area, data aggregation area. The second area into the IoT for the security is data privacy. Now data privacy means that ki if I have the 100, in general terms I'm giving the explanation, I have the salary slip of last 10 years and I don't have the proper enough storage to store on my computer. So I am deploying onto the what is the cloud. Now I just want to calculate 10 years of time span, how much I earn. So it should calculate by doing the addition of my all month salary and it should return the single value to me. But for that I have to pass the key to the cloud provider because it should be decrypted. Then only I can perform the addition on this text. Okay. Otherwise, I have to download all salary slip at my computer and do the processing. This is a very lengthy job in terms of the bandwidth. So it's better there is some scheme that will perform the processing on data without compromising my private key. Okay, and this leads to the homomorphic encryption. So now if you see, the homomorphic encryption is also the important topic in terms of the data privacy, where it is allowing to perform the computations on encrypted data in terms of addition, multiplication, division. Okay, so the same terminology you can use at the aggregator side as well as cloud side. Then the authentication is also the important to give the access of the cloud, to give the access to the user to the sensor. So which are the different authentication schemes deployed onto the IoT? Multi-factor authentication. You can use the biometrics, you can use the username password, or you can use the smart card based RFID based authentication. So you can use the multiple factors, okay, for that. Like the first you can use username password, second you can use the biometrics, third you can use the smart card. So three factor, it is a three factor. Identity based means if you are like the biometric is also the one identity based. Your identity cannot be stolen. Iris based, then this what is say the hand geometry based authentication, that is the identity based authentication. Then the message authentication you can also use key if sensor is sending some data to the cloud, to the gateway or cloud. If someone has changed that message, then how you comes to know that? So for that you have to perform the message authentication by using the hashing mechanism. Okay, so this is also the one latest trend into the research in terms of the security in IoT. Then physical unclonable function is also the authentication mechanism where challenge and response pair is generated. Based on the challenge and response, the user gets authenticated and no one can steal because it is associated with the hardware. Okay, and even though it is associated with the hardware, that hardware has a capability that after every second that the parameters will be changed and it can be secure. Then the other areas where you can do the research into the IoT, where the because of the time limit, but I will just focus key where the latest trends is going on to the IoT security or in IoT domain. That is the clustering algorithm. That when you want to form the similar types of cluster of the sensors or based on the energy they have, they for that, you can do the clustering algorithm. There are different algorithms. You do the analysis and propose the new clustering algorithm. Then even the routing algorithm to send the data from what you say sensors to the gateway or from one sensor to the another sensor. Which routing mechanism is the best? There are the proactive and reactive algorithms. You can do the analysis of this routing algorithm. Now Cisco Packet Tracer is not very good routing algorithm do for the analysis, but Kucha, Cup Carbon, these are the very good simulator. Even NS3, NS2, these are very good simulators for doing the analysis, because here in Cisco routers you will not get the specified range of the sensor. Okay, but in the Kucha and Cup Carbon, even though this NS3, NS2, they are very good softwares for doing the analysis and coming with the new protocols, routing protocol. Even fog computing is fog computing and edge computing. These are the terminology added into the networks to avoid the drawbacks of the cloud computing. Because why? When you send the data to the cloud and to take some decision, you have to depend on to the cloud. And when cloud sends the signal to the sensor, it takes much time because it has the network connection issues, bandwidth issues, and to take the decision at local level, the fog computing and edge computing research comes into the pictures. Okay, this is all about like Cisco devices based on industrial smart industry, then smart city and smart home. Okay, so these are all only the case studies as provided by the Cisco till now. So this only we can do on it.
Okay, ma'am. Second question is, can we use this concept for factory automation?
Yes, we can use factory automation, but only thing is that there are the few functionality like the encryption algorithm, decryption algorithm that we cannot deploy. Only you have to do through the programming. Programming you can use. Okay.
Third question is, can we use packet tracer offline?
Yes, you can use. You can
Okay.
use.
Okay, and the last question is, which two devices are used to connect IoT devices to a home network?
Two devices in the sense.
Actually, you have described and demonstrated many devices are connected in the home network, like
Okay.
ACs and then light and all devices you have
Okay.
shown. So
Okay.
you have already
Two.
explained this, madam.
Yeah, two devices you can use many devices. So
Many
one, two, or many.
yes,
Right.
madam. So that's all from participants, madam. Thank you so much for such an informative session. You have touched almost all the topics related to IoT, such as Industry 4.0, home automation, security in IoT devices, and you also demonstrated the Cisco Packet Tracer. So on behalf of IT department of SAKC, I request you to please accept this virtual token of appreciation from us, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Participants, the link of feedback come attendance form is posted in the Q&A session. All the participants are requested to submit the form. Our next session will be at 1:45 p.m. sharp. You also all will receive the link of attendance come feedback and link of next session on your mail. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Can I leave, sir, now?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir.